This will be one of the last times we are going to be getting such an opportunity ever again during this bull market. Bitcoin is looking extremely bullish, breaking back inside of the range, following that global liquidity, which by the way is reaching new all-time high after new all-time high, and many more signals that we are currently getting in the market, which are all going to be signaling that this is going to be one of the last opportunities for this Bitcoin bull market. So we'll need to be talking about that exactly and much more in today's update video. So as always, let's get started with that short term. And in that short term, Bitcoin has been getting an ever so slight correction during the course of this weekend. Now, because of this, we've been creating a small CME gap above us. And we do know that usually 90% of these CME gaps tend to be getting filled fairly and very quickly. On top of that, in a short term, we are reaching a slight little level of support, this uptrending level of support. So yes, I do think that a bounce is going to be quite inevitable and that we are going to be seeing higher prices again during this week. Because also do keep in mind that Bitcoin has been breaking back inside of this previous range where we've been getting a breakdown of, right? We've been breaking down of this range. We've been reaching new lows for the Bitcoin price. But ever since creating this bullish divergence, we've been reversing this trend and we have been breaking back inside of this range. So right now, I definitely do think we can be printing new highs again. And for that shorter time frame, we can be bouncing from this level of support to be filling up that CME gap. Now, definitely that shorter time frame is still looking great because the Bitcoin funding rates are also still trading extremely low. And we have just entered this territorium of greed, okay? We'll need to be explaining that exactly a little bit later. But first of all, yes, if we are going to be losing this level of support, if we're going to be falling down below, I definitely do think we can be seeing a bit more of a correction. In that case, we can be having a look into previous levels of support. First of all, this level of support over here. Then second of all, we can be having a look into a retest of this previous level of resistance at around that 89k level as support. So these are going to be the levels you need to be keeping in mind if we are going to be falling down below. Because also do keep in mind that we could still be repeating this Bitcoin history over here with a retest of that 50 daily moving average and a retest of the Bitcoin EMA ribbons. Okay, we'll be talking about this potential scenario a little bit later, but as of for now, yes, the Bitcoin charts are looking very good, and I do think it is going to be more likely to see a bounce from off this level and still more continuation to the upside. Because yes, the Bitcoin funding rates are still trading extremely low. Majority of that liquidity is being piled up on the top side. Again, all of that liquidity is starting to build up on the top side. And we do know that the Bitcoin price usually tends to go to the place where the majority of the liquidity is sitting at. So right now, still the short term is looking great. We are returning towards levels of greed again. Now, a lot of people are talking about the fact that this is going to be bearish, but this is not at all the fact, because always, whenever you are returning from a moment of extreme fear, and then you're going to be coming back to a moment of greed, that should always be the moment where we should be actually greedy, and we should be expecting more price movements to the upside. These are always the moments where Bitcoin continues its parabolic movement and continues the rally to the upside, like you can be seeing in this screenshot over here. Always, whenever you are coming from an extreme moment of fear, then you're going to be returning to greedy territories. We are always continuing the rallies to the upside. So right now, the same thing is going to be happening. The buying window for Bitcoin is literally closing up right now. So we should be expecting that next rally to the upside. We should be bullish over here, and we should be expecting new all-time highs to be getting reached for Bitcoin, especially with these Bitcoin signals flashing off right now. Now, I do want to be saying that every single time, whenever we were closing up this buying window, we have been always retesting the Bitcoin EMA ribbons before we were headed higher. We've always been retesting that 50 daily moving average before headed higher. So right now we could be seeing the same thing happening again with a little bit of a slight pullback in that shorter time frame, retesting that Bitcoin EMA ribbons, and then head off even further to the upside. It is going to be a very possible scenario, so just keep that in mind. But generally, I want to be extremely bullish at these current levels. I still think that this buying window is going to be closing up, and this is going to be one of the last opportunities for this Bitcoin bull market. Need to be explaining that exactly a little bit later. First of all, going to be important to keep in mind that in another 2 days, we're going to be getting an FOMC meeting. Now, no interest rate cuts are going to be expected, so do keep that in mind. It's not going to be extremely bullish, but it is going to be very important to keep in mind what Jerome Powell will say during the FOMC meeting. So yeah, as of for this FOMC meeting, nothing really big is about to happen in my opinion, but definitely for the remainder of this year, we will be seeing even more rate cuts, and I do not think it is priced in already. I think it is still yet about to be priced in with another rally to the upside for Bitcoin. It is not priced in just yet, so keep that in mind. Anyways, for that longer term, well, the Bitcoin charts are still looking great. Yes, maybe in that imminent short term, we could be seeing that retest of the Bitcoin EMA ribbons, but for that longer term, I still just think that Bitcoin is going to be headed much and much higher. Of course, we've been entering up this Bitcoin long position ever since breaking this falling wedge pattern to the upside. And I have been saying in the recent few videos that I want to be buying even more Bitcoin, either at the retest of the Bitcoin EMA ribbons or at a break back inside of this range, which we have been exactly seeing, right? Now, if we are going to be retesting the Bitcoin EMA ribbons, I'm definitely going to be getting interested in buying even more Bitcoin, because yes, this is going to be one of our last opportunities for this Bitcoin bull market. Now, yes, if we're going to be creating a higher low over here, I'm going to be extremely bullish, because keep in mind, Bitcoin is still following that global liquidity with a 105-day lag. That's why we can be putting the global liquidity with a 105-day offset on the Bitcoin chart, and we can be accurately predicting that general trend for the Bitcoin price. Right here, the general trend for the Bitcoin price was to the downside because of the global liquidity. Now, right now, the general trend is going to be to the upside again because of the global liquidity with a 105-day offset. So if we're going to be printing this higher low over here, I'm going to be extremely bullish. Now, do keep in mind that that general trend is still going to be to the upside. So we could be moving to the upside right now already, but I just still think that another higher low is going to be the best opportunity in the market. So keep that in mind. Anyways, for that longer term, I still just think that Bitcoin is going to be headed much and much more to the upside. We've been seeing this bullish MACD indicator cross. Usually we are seeing about a 70% to 80% price movement to the upside. Now, I have been saying this in the last few videos, right? But a lot of people are telling me that I'm way too bearish still at this moment. But keep in mind, guys, that if you would have told me at this bear market low, at that 16K level, that we are going to be reaching the 140K level this bull market, well, I would have already told you that I would have taken enough with that 140K level. And do keep in mind, I have been buying the majority of my Bitcoin at these bear market lows. So go to my oldest few videos and you can be seeing that I was extremely bullish at these bear market lows over here. I bought the majority of my Bitcoin at these bear market lows. So if you would have told me at these bear market lows that we are going to be topping out at about that 140K level, I would have grabbed that opportunity with both hands. Now, right now, because we are coming close towards these levels, people are telling me, no, we're going to be coming towards a 300K level. We're going to be reaching even higher. And this is exactly what happens during every single bull market. I have set my targets already since the beginning of this bull market. Since these points over here, I've already set my targets. My targets were setting at around that 100K to the 140K level, not higher, okay? Right now we are getting a lot of signals that we're going to be seeing still a rally to the upside of about 80%. So we're going to be coming close towards about that 140K level, but I do not think we're going to be reaching much and much higher. Now, I do still want to be saying I'm not going to be using this price target as an exact measurement because we can easily still head even higher. Let's keep the focus on even reaching new all-time highs right now still at this moment. And then after reaching these new all-time highs, let's talk about exact price targets. Let's not get too obsessed about price targets just yet. Let's keep every single possibility open as of for now. Let's keep the possibility for 300k Bitcoin open. Let's keep the possibility for 120k Bitcoin open. Let's keep all possibilities and scenarios open for now. Now the main concern is going to be to even reach these new all-time highs, okay? That's how I'm going to be approaching it. Anyways, guys, if you're going to be getting interested in trading yourself as well, make sure to be checking out that first link down below, because with that first link down below, you can be claiming an insane $150 free trade over on Blofin. So be sure to be checking that one out. I'm also taking my current Bitcoin trades over on Blofin, so make sure to be checking that one out. Anyways, yes, for that longer term, I'm still going to be extremely bullish on the Bitcoin price. We have been perfectly bouncing off from that 50 weekly moving average. I have been talking about this level very extensively. I have been talking about the fact how I'm going to be accumulating a lot more Bitcoin from off this level. I've been saying this is the bull market support band. And as long as we're still going to be holding above, we are still going to be trading in the bull market. And that is exactly what is currently still happening. 0 out of the 30 bull market peak indicators have been getting flashed. So I will still be expecting another rally to the upside. And by the way, I do want to be quickly saying it. Look at my track record over here. For this bull market, okay, we've been predicting literally almost every single Bitcoin move during this bull market, but also during the last Bitcoin bear market, we've also been predicting the top. Have a look at my oldest few videos and you can be exactly seeing my track record. I have been predicting the Bitcoin top over here. I've also been predicting the bear market bottom. So go to my oldest few videos. You can be seeing that video over there. But also during this Bitcoin bull market, my track record has been absolutely insane. So anyways, guys, with that being said, Michael Saylor is a true legend in my opinion, because still at this current moment, he is accumulating huge amounts of Bitcoin. This is going to be unheard of. Michael Saylor is going to be a true legend in my opinion, and we can definitely take a lot from his strategy, because the strategy is to just dollar cost average into the Bitcoin price, no matter what the Bitcoin price is going to be. And then in 10 years time, we will be benefiting from our dollar cost averaging. Now, anyways, if you do like the content, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And guys, I'll see you in another video tomorrow morning.